There's 2 game balls. They played with 2 balls.
Hey, yo.
This game. Oh,
Yo, I'm like, yo, like, how you letting that happen?
We might just get hit with the Rico.
with Pat Mahomes, and shout out to Pat Mahomes. Is his baby? Am I allowed to say the N word?
No, no, not at
Makes sense. I just wanted to check in with you just to make sure we. Can he say the N word?
Patrick Mahomes. Yes, Patrick Mahomes is black. That child is not, unfortunately for her, I guess.
You heard that? What you call it? That Cat Williams skit or not skit? That
from the movie. I don't even know. It was like a Nick Cannon movie or something like that.
It was like a school dance or some shit like that. Whose goddamn white baby is this?
My baby's from the Caucasus Mountains.
Well, that is a white baby, a Slavic baby. That baby got a 750 credit score right now as an infant. Nah, man. I literally went to my job and I really just asked every black person, and every black person has given me the same answer. We are all on the same page.
She's not. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
I mean, if you ask Dr. Umar, like, he would definitely think something's wrong with this shit.
But it's nothing wrong with the existence of the child. That's what I'm saying. Like,
and if you was to ask Dr. Umar,
I guess you might be right about that. He just, yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of the Play for Keeps podcast, the only podcast where we quite literally do something different every single day. Not an episode, every single day.
Every single day.
I'm your host, Greg Goods, a real nigga that says his first and last name.
Dang. I'm your host, Jackson. I did not say my first and last name because you can Google me and it's weird and I don't like that.
When people say the word Jackson, do they spell it the way? Like, do they initially spell it the way it's supposed to be spelled?
Do they spell my name correctly? No, they do not.
Never. They do it like the actual Jackson, like Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Look. I'm glad your name is spelled the way it's spelled.
Why? I mean, I
appreciate it,
but like,
because I can look at your name and be like, nigga, black, bro. It's a black man right there, bro.
Okay. What?
So that's a black man right there. You feel me? I don't know.
Nah, it'd be a lot of. I'd be seeing a lot of white babies with this name now. It'd be rubbing me the wrong way. I don't like when people have my name because it's just, why do you exist? It's just
like I can understand where you're coming from, but the fact that you see a lot of white children with your name is kind of crazy. Not gonna lie to you. That sounds like appropriation to me.
I still remember the first person besides me that I ever saw whose name was spelled the same way was Jackson Shipley, and he's a receiver for Texas. He's white, and I was like, why is his name spelled the same way? I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this.
He couldn't handle it.
I can't do this.
Nah, I used to get hype when I saw another black Greg. Like, damn.
Why is his name Greg? You got this old ass name, bro. I'm so sorry.
I think it was my uncle's name, which I found out later in life. That wasn't his actual, like, legal first name. That was like his middle name. His first name was
called.
His first name was Ernest.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, who wants to be called Greg? But a nigga named Ernest wants to be called Greg, bro.
A nigga named Ernest want to be called anything but Ernest. Shout out to Unc, man. R.I.P. Unc. But that was crazy. But it was because my grandpa's name is Ernest. So it was just kind of like, we can't, we got to give you something else. So
like, when you have kids, are you gonna give them a strong old fashioned name or something more modern with some apostrophes and some hyphens in it?
You see, I was gonna say modern until you said apostrophes. I'm not giving my baby no fucking apostrophes, bro. I'm sorry. I really want my kid to thrive in any workforce that he decides or she decides to go and thrive in. I don't care.
Society's collapsing. America's collapsing. There's not gonna be a workforce when they grow up. So it doesn't matter. Look, you can name them whatever. You can name them a number.
That's cool, but you think I'm getting Febreze off? That's crazy. Blue couch, diamond, Mercedes? No.
Diamond and Mercedes are normal names.
I'm not naming my baby off of dreams and aspirations, yo. I'm giving them an actual, legit name. Shout out to the Mercedes and diamonds. I know. Shout out to them. I know quite a few of those. But how you been, Jax?
Between the seconds that we started the podcast and now, I had an existential crisis. So I don't know. I think I'm doing okay. I don't know. I realize that I may be the source of all my problems. Like, because I'm in this house and it's cold. And it's like, damn, why am I cold? Because I'm wearing a fucking wife beater. I could just go put on a real jacket, but I don't know. And then it led me to more thoughts and, hey, I'm responsible for all my problems in life. And yeah, that's how my mind works. And that's how I've been. How have you been, Greg?
Hey, man, look, I've been at peace, man. Been at peace. Look, it's countdown before I get back home. It ain't been as cold, so I fuck with it.
Global warming. Let's go.
Shout out to them. Shout out to all the warming. But nah, man, I just really been on some self-reflecting. Real talk. Really on some self-reflective, really on some you just really wake up sometimes and you gotta remind yourself who the fuck you are. I had one of them days. Yesterday, I had an off day. Like I said, I'm glad we didn't have a pod yesterday. I needed that self-reflect to be like, wait, hold on, nigga. I am who I say I am. Watch out, nigga. Watch out. I'm really that guy. Come on now. But yeah, man, it's been decent. It's been cool. I'm telling y'all right now, 2024. I know a lot of y'all niggas say it's your year. 2024 is my year. Yeah, that's cool and all. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, nigga, it's the pod's year next year. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna hold you. It's my year. It's Jack's year. It's the pod's year. It may be yours too. I don't know you though. I can only speak on what I know.
Like, I hope it's your year, if you listen to this podcast. I speak it into
existence. I speak it into existence. You feel me? I root for everybody almost black.
It could not be your year, though. But I'm just saying.
It could. Look, I'm saying I can admit 2023, as great as a year it wasn't my year for real. I forced it to be my year. You know what I mean? I strong-armed some shit to make it like, hey, I'm still on top. Oh, but 2024 gonna be way different. I ain't gonna lie to you. So that's how I'm feeling right now. I got a lot of positive vibes, great energy around what I got going on. So we cool.
Praise God.
Oh God.
But I mean, we talking about 2024 and how it's gonna be a new year, different year. You finna touch some money in 2024, Greg?
Absolutely. That's not even a hope. That's not even hopeful, nigga. That's a fact. I don't know what you want me to do about that. I can't even stop that from happening, Jax. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's how I got. You know who else can't stop the money from coming? Shohei Ohtani.
Oh God, he can't.
And yes, we are an NSO podcast, and shout out to Jackie Robinson. But we have to talk about this baseball stuff. If you don't know, Shohei Ohtani, I don't even know what position he is. Hold on, I should Google that real fast.
Oh no, he's a pitcher, and he also be hitting the shit out the baseball. Which is
I'm tripping. Yeah, he is. I was thinking he had another position in the outfield as well, but
no, hell no. Look, that's a precious jewel right there. They cannot put that nigga in the outfield.
But
that's somebody's prized possession right there.
Shohei Ohtani, like Greg said, he is a pitcher, or he started his career for the Angels, who are just a perpetually cursed franchise, like the Chargers. But like I said, we'll get to the Chargers when we get to the Chargers.
Whole lot of LA shit.
But yeah, Shohei Ohtani, he was a star pitcher and batter, and that's something that's really rare. Really never happens. I can't even think of the last person who done it. It was probably some like old baseball player from the 1920s with a weird name like I don't even know.
Bambino or some shit. Who knows?
Yeah, Bam Bam Bambino or something like that. But yeah, Shohei Ohtani, he's the truth. He's the real deal. He's like if Michael Parsons and Patrick Mahomes were the same person, like he can do it all. And because of that, he signed a 10-year, $700 million contract with the LA Dodgers. Now, during this whole contract, not dispute, but contract negotiations with various teams, because he was a free agent, there was a whole lot of speculation of where he was going to go. You know, it was rumored he was going to go to the Toronto Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
And there was even like rumors of a plane with him on it, and he was taking off, and he was going to meet the Blue Jays. Then when the plane landed, Shohei wasn't there. It was just one of his friends, and his friend was all fake confused, like, hey, what are you talking about? Of course he's not on this plane. And all that was just to drive up the price. So Shohei, he signed a $700 million deal. But the thing about this deal is he's deferring most of the money. The way his contract is set up, he's only going to get $2 million a year for 10 seasons. And then after that, he will receive the rest of his money in $68 million annual lump sums the following decade. So after 10 years, Shohei, he's going to just be getting direct deposits of $68 million every year.
Love that for him.
First things first, Greg. If you got a $700 million deal, what's the first thing you would buy with it?
For 700? First I'm gonna buy me a new house. On God. I don't hate it. People can do what they want to do. But everybody starts saying they're gonna buy their mama a house. Nigga, work on you first. Bless you first. Your mother did the job, bro. She did the damn thing. Reward yourself. You got here. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do that. I'm not really big into cars like that, but I'm definitely like where I live, where I lay my head at, all that. That has to be elite. And I'm gonna get a PJ. Those are the two things I'm gonna get. Other than that, after that, look, I maybe build a podcast studio for us. Who knows? But like, those are the first two things, and then after that, maybe I'll just buy my parents a house or some shit. But like, the first thing I'm gonna buy, a house in the PJ. No cap.
Okay, I feel that. I think I'd be on Hunter Biden time, but I digress.
Oh God.
These are all jokes.
I was trying to be wholesome. This thing out here going crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But no, like this Shohei deal, is this not tax evasion? Because I was reading and it was like, if he moves, once his contract is up, say he gets signed to another team, like I don't know, Texas, somewhere in Texas, like the Rangers, and he goes to the Rangers, he's still gonna make that $68 million lump sum, but he won't have to pay the California taxes on it, even though he signed the deal in California. Like, this is tax evasion at the highest level. And like,
you sound like me for real, actually.
I mean,
W move.
Yeah, it's a W for him, but like, damn, bro.
That's on. Hey, look, that's on their CBA. They CBA been. I ain't gonna lie to you. They're still they literally have a thing called Bobby Bonilla, and on every July 1st, he gets paid $2.1 million by the New York Mets. And he's been getting paid $2.1 million for the past 25 to 30 years. The last time he played for the Mets was in 1999, and they did this weird deal where so it's $1.19 million every July 1st. Mm-hmm. And he has every July 1st from 2011 through 2035. He will be getting $1.19 million. Because that's just how they did it. That's how they disperse his money. So this is not no new stuff that they be doing. Now 68 deferred is kind of crazy. I've never seen no shit like that.
Listen.
But I mean W retirement, because I don't think he's going to be able to as good as he is. I do not believe that he's going to be able to pitch and hit simultaneously like he's doing right now.
Not for forever. But I mean, then again, he could just be built different. We thought we thought LeBron wasn't gonna be able to do this for forever, and it's LeBron,
Yeah,
48
you're
years
right.
old, still scoring, still 20 points a game. So like, I also don't think he's gonna be able to pitch and throw like that. But even if he can only do one, he's still cold, so
It's
not
cold.
a big deal. And it's sort of like a passing of the torch because you said Bobby Bonilla Day that ends in what 2035.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Shohei deal it starts next year, so it starts in 2024, and then the end of the 10 years will be 2034. So like once Bobby Bonilla Day is up, it'll be Shohei Ohtani Day.
Yeet. Shohei Ohtani
man.
Day, 68 mil, just in
Man,
full. That
I
is.
can't, I can't imagine that, man.
Hey, that's a crazy thing because if you mess over your 68 mil, hey, I got another one coming next.
I'll be
year.
back.
I'll be up. I just gotta thug it out for 2 more months.
And then another thing I read about this, just to sort of wrap it up, it said the only reason he was able to, like, he did this because, of course, he wants the Dodgers to be able to build a super team, and they already have Mookie Betts and I don't know baseball, but they have some other.
Yeah, they got some. They got some heavy hitters, yo. It's
So like he did this so they can help build a super team, and he was only really able to do this because they said he makes so much money off the diamond anyway. So like,
yeah, bro,
his already just like that's crazy,
bro. Yo,
he gonna be a billionaire.
Yes,
He
he
gonna be
300. He 300 mil away from.
You know,
Like
No,
that's just another. That's just another baseball contract after 10 years.
hell, he probably already is a billionaire.
He probably like with like yo. He is so like he beat Team USA by himself.
I did see that. Remember
He
seeing
backpacked Team Japan and was striking out all of the best hitters in the world. And then he'll hit a home run. I'm just like, yo, he's fire. And it was a damn shame. This is like, man, who can I? Because basketball is different. You can really backpack basketball as one player and get to the playoffs because he hasn't been competing.
But doing that in baseball is it's so many different variables, so many different. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm trying to compare like a football player that just like he is cold, just on that messy, a bad situation.
Nah, honestly, the best athlete you can compare him to is Wilt Chamberlain because he doing some shit we ain't never seen before. And that's
Yeah, it was just
what Wilton did.
It was just weird because like he was doing stuff that ain't nobody seen before. He was breaking all these kind of records, but it still wasn't good enough to get to the playoffs because the team was just not constructed well. Being with the Los Angeles Angels, so he was like, "I'm gonna stay in LA. I'm just going on the other side,"
Hey,
which is crazy. Hey, man, look.
Speaking of LA, it's a couple people that probably need to go to the other side of LA. Especially when you talk about the Los Angeles Chargers. But honestly, I don't think the Chargers should go to the other side of LA. I think they should just pack it up, go back to San Diego, and pretend none of this ever happened.
They should have stayed in San Diego, actually.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But we're talking about the Chargers because if you didn't know, last night, prime time, Thursday night football on Amazon for the entire world to see. The Los Angeles Chargers lost to the Las Vegas Raiders by a score of 63-21. And now you may be like, "Oh, that's bad," but they at least scored. No, the game wasn't as close as the score. And the score is not even close at all. They lost by 42 points. And they were down 42-0 at halftime. And since then, like I said, this happened yesterday. Since then, Brandon Staley, head coach of the Chargers, and GM Tom Telesco have both been fired. And I just think, what took them so long?
I told you. I felt like the final straw was when you allowed Trevor Lawrence to come back from that 4-touchdown deficit in the playoffs last year. I said back then that Brandon Staley shouldn't have never got on that damn plane.
Just fire him on the tarmac. Fired him at halftime. Or fire him when they started coming back.
Exactly. Like it was bad then. And it was even worse now because you just wasted another year of Keenan Allen, Justin Herbert, Mike Williams. Like y'all it was just a bad thing. But if I'm being honest, it was like 49-0 at halftime. It was getting nasty. Richard
Getting
Sherman was
nasty.
no, I was saying like the media, media was getting nasty. Like national media was getting nasty.
Okay.
You already knew Twitter was getting nasty, but national media, Richard Sherman was out there on national media talking about, hey, yo, they need to do something unprecedented, like fire him at halftime right now.
I agree.
They gave him they interviewed Brandon Staley at halftime when it was 42-0, whatever it was. What can you say? This is the time when you need Carissa Thompson there. This is the time you need Carissa Thompson
You see
just
the
lie.
lie there.
You don't need to just be on the camera. This is the time when this is Carissa, this is your moment. You feel me? And on top of that, lastly, if anything, bro, like this is bad, bro. Like I don't even know where you go from here, because who you moving up? I damn sure don't want you to move up Kellen Moore.
Oh,
But the Chargers. Did you see Chargers social media?
yeah. When they said,
Their first touchdown, he was like, "We scored."
that's all the caption said. Then Chargers they have one of the best social medias in football. Like their schedule releases is always funny. They're just a funny team.
Everything they fire. They social media team is fire.
And to watch, just to see their social media, just to see that intern just utterly defeated, it almost brought a tear to my eye. But it was a tear of laughter. It was a tear of laughter.
Jax, be real. Be real. They did not care about that score.
They
is not heartbroken. They was dying laughing, trying to cut this shit up. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, speaking from some experience, I already know them boys is not invested in there. They probably not even from LA.
They probably don't get paid enough anyway.
Oh God, they ready to do something. Just like the Adidas account that was on Flaming KD back like 2 weeks ago. That shit was funny too. We didn't talk about it back then, but that shit was funny too. Yeah, man.
But no, this is just like you said. This is wasting another year of the Chargers. I mean, the Chargers core, and just to name a few players of that Chargers core, they got Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Derwin James Jr., Joey Bosa, and those are all 5 players with all pro potential. And these are also 5 players who are also always injury prone. Like Keenan Allen, he has a history of the hamstring injuries. Mike Williams, he's hurt right now. Derwin James Jr., he's actually healthy for the first time in a minute. Joey Bosa is always hurt. And did I say Justin Herbert broke his finger and he wasn't even playing in this game? Like,
you didn't mention that, but yeah.
But like, yeah, this is just another wasted year of that Chargers core. And why Staley was even in this position, like you said, he should have been fired. First of all, he should have never been hired, but he should have been fired after that playoff game. And sort of to tell you why he should have never been hired, Brandon Staley, he's never been a head coach at any level. He's only been a coordinator, I believe, once or twice, and that was at like the Division III level. And then he ended up somehow as a defensive coordinator for the Rams, and they were good for 1 year. And then everybody was like, oh, Staley, he's just a defensive mastermind. And they hired him to the Chargers, and it's been terrible ever since. And, he was only good in that one season because he had 2 players on his team by the name of Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, who are 2 of the best defensive players in the history of football. So, of course, it's gonna make you look a little bit better than you are. But where the Chargers go from here, because they're 40 right now. They like I said, they fired their GM as well, and they're $40 million over the cap. So, like, they have a quarterback, but they don't have any money to do anything with it. All their players are getting older now. Like, sort of, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to tell you. Sucks to be a Chargers fan. Thank God it's not me.
It couldn't be me. They need Daryl Morey. That's what they need. Because that cap situation is crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know where they go from here. But because you blew it up, because you fired your coach and GM, I'm almost for certain that you're gonna blow up your roster. You're gonna blow up your roster. You're gonna get rid of Keenan Allen. You're gonna sell him high. He had a great season this year. But he's on the older side. He's been in the league for what, 13 years, 10 years?
Yeah, he's probably like 32, 33 or something like that. And he, like I said, he gets hurt a lot, so his body's probably older.
Yeah, so look, as a fantasy manager myself, I suffered the consequences last year and I doubled down this year. Thankfully, he did his thing. He did his thing this year, but that's not promised, especially at his big age. But Mike Williams coming off a torn ACL, Jordan Palmer, who cares about him? You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have to blow it up. You're gonna have to blow it up. I'm sorry. That's all that means, because you cannot have this same roster come back next year. It's unacceptable.
This roster, it hasn't had much changes. It's been like the same roster since Justin Herbert really got there. Like, it's time for something new, and that's what ownership they felt. They knew, and hey, the players probably knew it. The players probably knew it. At what point do you think the players were like, "Oh yeah, he's getting fired"?
The worst thing that could have happened was when they beat the Vikings in week 3. They were both 0-2. They were both 0-2, and once you hit 0-3, only 1 out of 98 teams have came back and gotten to the playoffs. So that would have been an expedited version of getting rid of Brandon Staley, all this stuff. Because if you go 0-3, it's wraps.
Especially after that playoff loss, and then 0-3, he would have been gone already.
He would have been gone already. But the fact that y'all won y'all won a crazy game, and y'all wasn't supposed to win that game.
They barely won. It was overtime.
They barely won
with like 1 second left or something like that.
No, it wasn't overtime, but they had the game in the bag, but they went for it on 4th down on their own 15-yard line. On their own 15-yard line, they went for a 4th down and 5 or some shit. And they did not convert. And they got an interception towards the end of the game. But yeah, had they gone 0-3, we would have had this conversation back in like September, October. But the fact that we're having this conversation now, like, I mean, I'm glad you didn't decide to push it through all the way to the end of the season.
I wish he would have. I wanted to see how bad it could get.
What?
See how bad it could get. See if the player just punch the coach. Just see what happens.
Nah. That only works if Mike Williams was still there and Justin Herbert was still throwing the football. I don't, you know what I mean? And you ain't got Danny DeVito back there, so I mean, look, I don't, you know what I mean? It wouldn't have hit the same, literally and figuratively. But like I said, y'all ask us what's next for the Chargers. I say you got to blow it up, because I don't know what else you can do besides blow it up. Yes, and whatever you do not move that nigga Kellen Moore up, please. Don't do it.
No, move him up. It's gonna be funny. You're not in this for the jokes, Chris. I'm in this to laugh. It'll be hilarious. It'll be sad but funny. It'll be sad but funny. And that's what we need in the NFL.
I guess, bro. How you feel about this is probably how I feel about Aaron Rodgers. So I get it. I understand.
But I have a question for you, Greg.
And I got to answer.
Do you think Justin Herbert is a game manager or a game changer?
Shit, after this game, nigga, he might be a game changer. 63-20? Jesus. Realistically, game manager. Just depend. But if I'm going off of Cam Newton's definition of what a game manager is and a game changer, I think I think there's only like 3 or 4 game changers in the NFL right now. I take that back. Maybe about 5 or 6. But yeah, he a little game manager with some nice moments. He has really nice moments.
Yeah. But we're talking about game manager and game changers and all this because Cam Newton, Heisman Trophy winner, former number 1 overall pick, former MVP, went to the Super Bowl. He drug a team to the Super Bowl, a team with Ted Ginn as the number 1 receiver who can't. Ted Ginn and me catch the same, and I can't catch. So that's how good Cam Newton was. But anyways, he was making comments on one of it. He had like 5 podcasts, but on one of his podcasts, and he was talking about game changers versus game managers.
Game managers, yeah.
And he was talking. He named a few quarterbacks for his example. He said Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, Tua Tagovailoa, and Dak Prescott they fit in the category of game managers because he said they don't do enough to affect the outcome of the game. They just sort of manage the team, And then he was naming other quarterbacks such as
Pat Mahomes, Lamar,
Josh Allen, and even he didn't name himself, but even himself, Cam Newton, they were game changers because he said people go in the NFL draft and they don't say, "Hey, give me the next Brock Purdy," or "Hey, give me the next Jared Goff." They want the next Pat Mahomes. They want the next Lamar. And I thought those comments were interesting because I agree with him on all of it, except for one name, and that's Dak Prescott, because he started off as a game manager, but watching him this season, he's been a game changer.
I think, and look, I truly felt like the backlash wouldn't even be great. I don't think he would have no backlash for real, as long as he kept Dak out of there. I think once he put Dak in there, then everybody started like going haywire. I don't think the backlash that he got was warranted for like what he said. I just disagree with Dak.
Like,
but I also
he made a valid point. He made like a good argument. He just like people just didn't agree with it.
Yeah, but like I don't know if you saw his response to it all. It was like a 9-minute video.
I'm not watching that. I'm sorry, Kim. I'm not watching that video.
It's like a 9-minute video on Twitter at that. But I did watch all 9 minutes. I really did, because he kept me tuned in. I was like, you know what? Like at first I'm like, I was the same as you. I was like, I'm not watching no 9-minute video.
On Twitter is great. Like, and he got that weird hat on. Can't do it.
But 2 minutes in, the nigga had me locked in. That nigga was spitting that fire. He was spitting that fire. He was going to everybody. He was going at everybody in a respectful manner. Like he wasn't cussing nobody out or nothing like that. But he was getting on people. He had no problem. I'm basically going to give you the Spark Notes version. Mm-hmm. He basically didn't have no problem with anybody disagreeing with it. His problem was like, he's like, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I don't. It's like, he didn't say anything that anybody from the national media hasn't said before. It's just because I'm Cam Newton or whatever. You decide to make it not about football. He was like, just keep it football. He was like, don't turn this into, oh, he's just better because he's not in the NFL. He's just this, he's just that. You start comparing. You doing player comparisons of Cam Newton versus Dak Prescott, and the narratives is different. You're basically propping your stats up to make Dak look better. While you can say Dak is better, but you're not having an honest conversation because you're not even including his 56 rushing touchdowns when you have the conversation in the player comparison. So we already know what you're trying to do. So he was just kind of like, yo, like, for all y'all that just keep doing X, Y, and Z, he started talking about owners, executives of different shows. Just like, yo, I know what you're doing. He broke that shit down. He was he was talking this shit, man. And he was clarifying what game managers were.
Okay.
And to him. And it was basically kind of like, hey, yo, like, you're making mistake-free football. You're doing X, Y, and Z. And he was like, yo, he was saying to himself, even to a degree, he didn't come out the gate as a game changer. He was talking about himself. Like, he didn't come out the gate as a game changer. He had some game-changing moments. But I think for him, game changer, it deals with consistency as well. And I think with him, I think that Dak is having an amazing season. Mm-hmm. Consistency would probably keep him as a game changer because we viewed Dak as a game manager as he came up the ranks these past couple years. Same with, he didn't speak on it with Jalen Hurts, but it reminded me of Jalen Hurts. I'm like, yo, I think Jalen Hurts is a game manager. He had a really great season last year. But overall, if you look at his totality of work, he's been a game manager. Mm-hmm. Justin Herbert has been a game manager with super great throws. Literally super great throws that can be put on highlight reels, but you're a game manager. So, and he was saying game manager is nothing that's disrespectful. That was all he was saying, was like, yo, there's a negative connotation to game manager, and there's nothing wrong with being a game manager. But that's the national media's fault. The national media will put the word game manager out as an insult when it's really not. He was like, Tom Brady was a game manager coming into the NFL. Then Roethlisberger. It was a 9-minute video.
Oh God! I need to watch that. He was cooking. I need to watch that.
No, he was cooking. No, I'm saying he was cooking. So I'll I think I have a bookmark. I'll send it to you right now. You can watch it whenever you want to. But no, and like I said, and there's still things that I disagreed with, but it's just kind of like, don't question the credentials. especially if you're somebody that hasn't played football. Like, if you you one of these people on ESPN talking about, oh, he just bitter this or he can't, he don't know what the fuck he talking about. I'm like, bro,
Like,
he's an MVP. Respect his credentials at least. You can disagree, but don't make it anything outside of it not being, football. So,
like, I don't know. I guess this is gonna happen more as we age and everything. But like, just seeing the tide turn on players that like we knew were great, and just watching them be like, oh, he's amazing. And now, like, people are like, oh man, his numbers weren't that good. Blah blah blah. Like,
you gotta put that.
Cam Newton. Cam Newton was
you just had to be there. With Cam Newton, you just had to be there.
Literally,
that's the problem.
I don't think he's gonna get in the Hall of Fame because like injuries and all that.
Not.
But like, it's gonna like explaining to like children like how good he is. It's not gonna make sense because they're gonna be like, okay, whatever.
But you put on that tape, and it's just kind of like, yes, we want another Cam Newton, even though there will never be another Cam Newton. That is being that size and moving that fast and throwing passes like that, you're never gonna see that again. Cardale Jones is probably your best bet.
I mean, they tried to say
that fast.
They tried to say Josh Allen, but Josh Allen be playing. Josh Allen be Josh Allening, so I wouldn't call him that.
Yeah, man. So look, after listening to that 9-minute video, look, there were still things I did not agree with, and some of his analogies I did want to challenge, but it's one of those things where, like, look, I can respect a different perspective. Yeah. I'm not expecting him to have the same kind of perspective of football like analysts on ESPN and FS1 and all these other. Y'all don't play football. I'm listening to a real Hall of Famer, and they're doing all this for like clicks and everything as well. But he should be Hall of Fame. He might get college football Hall of Fame. Absolutely. But yeah, like after listening to that video, it's not that I didn't respect him, but I was like, yo, you talking your shit, yo. You talking your shit. Because I know they're not gonna comment and they're not gonna respond because he put a few of them people on blast. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, for sure, Cam, talk your shit. And he wasn't like on no like angry get off my lawn type shit. Like he was really on some statistical shit because they really drugged that nigga name out in the mud. It was crazy. And that's another thing I wanted to talk to because I didn't want to overtalk it. But like, for people that had so much to say, and I'm talking about national media, for people that had so much to say about what Skip Bayless did to Shannon Sharp with him being disrespectful with his comments, there was no real difference on what y'all did on national media, except y'all didn't say it to that man's face. The only difference y'all had was that Cam Newton wasn't in the building. You wasn't directly saying it to y'all face, to their face. But calling Cam Newton foolish or he's better because he thinks he's better than Dak right now, like all these different things and all these different narratives that y'all tried to paint on Cam, just because he didn't even say. He didn't say. He just had an opinion about football. The same way we want to respect y'all opinion, quote unquote. Like, all right, yo, y'all are no better than Skip Bayless, but y'all was quick to trash Skip Bayless for real. But y'all doing the same thing. Y'all doing the exact same thing. So get off my man's dick, y'all. It's crazy. Man. It's bad.
But we gotta keep it pushing and go speak on some other bad stuff going on. This time in the world of basketball. And I'm just gonna put this idea out there. I just want you to respond, okay?
Okay.
All right. In my honest personal opinion, I think Draymond Green needs to be put down. Draymond Green needs to be put down. He's like a dog with rabies. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Bro, I know what's wrong with him. He from Detroit. He from Michigan. I don't know if he's from Detroit. He from Michigan.
Is that Michigan, it? It's the lead in the water. It's the lead in the water.
It's that Flint water, yo. It's that Flint water. But yeah, look, Draymond being, if y'all haven't heard, he's been suspended indefinitely, until he gets some, counseling or
I think they're making him go to therapy as well.
Making him go to therapy, whatever it is. I didn't like the discourse. I didn't like the conversations around it. Let me be honest with you. I didn't like what Steve Kerr had to say. I didn't like what any of the Warriors had to say about it.
They're just for people who don't know, Draymond Green, has a history. Even you can go you can go to YouTube and look up Draymond Green highlights, and it'll literally be like a 5-minute video of him punching people, kicking people in the nuts, tackling people, all that. And after his most recent ejection, it happened when the Warriors were playing the Suns, and he like dead ass
Spinning back fist on the nigga.
Just what the hell for no reason? He just slapped the fuck out of Nurkic for just no reason. Like I was just like just watching. I was like, what are you doing? But yeah, he got ejected for that, and then the NBA was like, you know what? Enough of this. Suspension indefinitely. So that's what happened. But my fault. Continue though.
Yeah, and like I said, when they found out it was indefinite and therapy and all that stuff, after, which is look, that's cool, that's whatever. But the way people was talking about this, y'all not keeping it in the stack, yo. Steve Kerr, when he said, I'm glad he's getting the help he needs, or I'm glad he's finally getting some help. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck? Like, I'm really trying to figure it out. What the fuck are you talking about, Steve Kerr? You see this nigga? Like, what are you talking? Like, you talking to it like this is like
a nigga you don't know.
Just happened. You enabled this. You defended every action that he's ever done. That's just how he's our glue guy. Even the Rudy Gobert. You defended the Rudy Gobert chokehold. And for it to be that long. You didn't condemn anything Draymond has ever done. The Warriors organization, Steve Kerr, shit, even Steph. Y'all just kept it. Y'all kept it pushing. Y'all allowed the nigga to punch another light-skinned man on Steph Curry's watch and said, we are going to trade Steph Curry. I mean, not Steph Curry. We're going to trade Jordan Poole. We're going to trade Jordan Poole. And on top of that, we're going to reward you with $100 million. And you talking about we glad that he's getting the help. He's finally getting some help. No. What are you talking about?
Bro,
I don't understand. What are you talking about? This falls like 85% of this is Draymond's fault. 15% is because of that goddamn organization. That organization enabled Draymond to do what he did. They could have cut this shit out a long time ago.
In all honesty, like Steph, he's not really the vocal early. I'm not gonna lie to him. I don't fucking know. But he seems from my outside perspective like a more lead by example type of player. But if Steph was like, hey, Draymond, stop, or you will not be on the Warriors no more, Draymond would never do any of this. He would have never hit Jordan. He wouldn't have done anything. He'd be on his best behavior. Because Steph, like Draymond and Steph, they're tied. Draymond, Steph, and Clay, all three of them are tied together. So if Steph, as long as Steph is okay, because Draymond and Clay, they're not producing like they used to do. But as long as Steph is happy with them, they're gonna stay on that team. If Steph was like, Draymond, clean this shit up, or you're getting the fuck out of here, he would have cleaned the shit up. But none of that shit is happening. And now it's like just hearing the way people talk about it, like you said, it's crazy. And then like you hear like KD, like he's like, oh man, I don't know what's wrong. He didn't act like this when I was with the Warriors. Nurkic saying, oh, that brother needs help. Gobert saying, oh, I have empathy for him. They're acting like he's on drugs or something. He just make bad decisions.
And they're acting like this shit is new. They're acting like this shit is some new developments.
Like
he been doing this shit since 2016. But even if we want to talk about the therapy talk is well overdue. You should have been having therapy talks when you decided to punch Jordan Poole.
He did. No, he did. Remember, he did like that whole. There was, I think it was like on Amazon Prime or something. There was like a series though. About him where he got therapy and all that. Like,
nah, nigga, nah,
exactly.
nah. Because you know why? Behavior. This would be one thing, and it would still be bad. This would be one thing if the last thing we heard about Draymond was the punching incident.
Yeah.
But no, you had to stomp on Sabonis' chest. You had Rudy Gobert getting choked the fuck out.
For 13
and now
seconds.
And then 5 games after the choke, remember, there's only been 5 games since the choke. You decide to spinning back fist somebody. Gilbert Arenas said it best. I ain't gonna lie to you. He said, yeah, he trying to get them Europeans up out of here. I ain't gonna lie to you. He really be doing this to the Europeans. He don't do this to nobody else but the Europeans. The hard shit. And at first, I was like, Gil, you just chatting. But then I realized that it's been Sabonis, Rudy Gobert, Yusuf Nurkic, Jordan Poole is light skinned from Wisconsin, so that kind of counts. Steven Adams is Australian. He's strong, but he's still Australian. And I'm really trying to figure out who else has he gotten into like this that's not European. I don't know.
He tried to get into it. Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal slammed him on the ground.
Tore off his. He tried to get with Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart say, "Hey, watch it." Watch it.
No, Isaiah Stewart tried to get with him. Draymond was like, "All right, bro, relax. I'm sorry."
Yeah, Isaiah Stewart. Hey, he Detroit for real. I ain't gonna hold you. That's somebody. Hey, if they ever blow it up, they need to keep Isaiah Stewart. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I saw him charge at Braun, I was like, "Oh yeah, he different. He different. Nah. This is some crazy shit right here."
I'm just surprised nobody punched Draymond yet. Like, it's just like Draymond. He's for a normal human. Draymond is big, but he's only in. Draymond's like 6'5", 230. That's big for a normal human. In the NBA, he's tiny. Like Nurkic 7'1", like 280. Like Nurkic could have knocked him out. I wish he would have to shut all this shit up. Because I feel like it was a whole bunch of people who are, oh my gosh, Draymond, he's suspended indefinitely. But John Morant, they're just making all these like bad comparisons to stuff. And I'm just like,
They need
Draymond needs to be suspended. He needs to be suspended. Something's wrong with this nigga. He needs to be suspended. And they need to stop talking about.
And they need to stop talking about John Morant. John Morant has been going through it. I ain't gonna hold you. That nigga been in these courtrooms. Y'all need to leave John alone.
Bro, he got like 5 games left on the suspension, and he's back. Just let him get through these 5 days without y'all starting a scandal in his name.
Have you seen these court shits? I ain't trying to get on John for it. He was like, "Are these diamonds real?" That shit is crazy.
He just looked. He was like, "I mean, I'm a millionaire." Like,
I was like, yeah, bitch, these hoes VVS for real, nigga. What are you talking about? Get the diamond tester right now, nigga.
What does that have to do with anything, bro?
They had that nigga dunk, like a poster of him trying to post up a dunk. He was like, yeah, you see that arm? That arm right there. Now imagine that arm on a 17-year-old child getting punched. Like, they was really reaching with some of these. This must be a silver suit.
Yeah, it's a silver suit.
Because this shit is getting crazy. This is why I don't argue with lawyers. I don't argue with nobody that goes to law school or aspiring to go to law. Y'all got it. Because this is crazy. Don't do this. But yeah, other than that, Draymond, realistically, I know it's indefinitely, but when do you think he's coming back? Because he's definitely coming back this season. You know that's going to happen.
10 games.
That's crazy.
That's too long or too short?
Too short. In my personal opinion.
How do you think?
That nigga shouldn't touch the court till bare minimum February. Bare minimum.
Well, it's low-key almost January or something.
It's almost January. Like,
that might not be that bad.
Like, I need you. Like, bare, and that means, like, I really, like, he got to do a press run on, like, yo, like, I really have changed. Like, your demeanor got to change.
These need to be court mandated therapy sessions. Like, you got to sign in. We need to have people watch you. All that.
We need well documentation that shit has been going on. But
you need to write a paper about what you've learned, all that.
Yeah, and realistically, I don't even know how many games are in a month for most people. So, like,
yeah, I don't either. So
if I quickly did a Warrior schedule, look up. If you count all of December's game and all of January's games, that's like 22 games. That's 22 games right there. Which is, in my mind, I was thinking a 15 to 20 game suspension anyway.
I think that's what it should be, like 15, but I don't think they're gonna do it. That's why I said 10. I don't think that Adam Silver, David Stern would have executed Draymond. Adam Silver, he not like that.
Oh, look, Adam Silver. It was crazy enough that Adam Silver decided to do indefinitely. I really thought he was finna hit him with a little 10er, like a 10 game. I was like, if he gets a 10 game, he gonna do something else. He gonna do something else sometime this season.
He's gonna do something else sometime this season, regardless. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah.
You said, I think we're talking pre-production in the pod, and you said He's 7 away from the record for ejections. When do you think he's going to reach that?
If I'm being honest, it depends on how long he plays, but
Oh, that's true. He is
realistically, because he can get there. He can get there.
Yeah, he's for sure. I think in the next 2 seasons he's getting there.
If he gets there within the next 2 seasons, that's gonna be his last 2 seasons. I'm not gonna lie. If he gets there in 2 seasons, yeah, buddy, I ain't gonna lie to you. This, yeah, I don't think he'll get ejected for the rest of the season. If I'm being honest,
We'll see.
So. Who knows?
But we moved from one act of violence to another one.
Oh, it's my favorite. Hey, this is my favorite one.
Do you want to take it away, or
we talking
should I
Pacers?
explain it? Yeah, Giannis versus the Pacers.
Hey, look, you've been doing a great job. I'm gonna let you start it. I'm gonna let you start it off, and if there's anything you miss, I'm gonna add to it.
All right, bet. So on, hold on, let me find when the hell this happened. Let me find.
Oh man,
What is that?
you have it 2 days ago.
Yeah. So on Wednesday, December 13th, the fateful Wednesday, December 13th, the Bucks and the Pacers played, and the Bucks won 140 to 126. It was like high scoring game, good game. Giannis scored a franchise record 64 points.
That was on accident.
I think all his points was in the paint too. He was really just cooking them.
It was legit. It was legit an accident. He wasn't supposed to do that. They took him out because they were up by like 25, 30 in the fourth, and their bench scored enough points to get it back to a 10 to 8-point game, which led Giannis to come back and score some more buckets, which ultimately got him that franchise record.
So I know I would be so mad if I think I'm just chill. Okay, cool. We're up big. I don't got to go back in the rest of the game. We get comfortable on the bench, and then I'd be so upset.
Yeah.
I'd be so upset. But
shout out to Rick Hall and the Pacers, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Shout out to them.
But anyways, like I said, the Bucks won. Giannis scored 64 points. And after the game, Giannis won the game ball. You know, he scored franchise record 64 points. It was at home. You know, they just went crazy. So he won the game ball, but for some reason, he couldn't find the ball. He was looking around, wondering where the ball was, and then he got angry. And this is Giannis, 7'1", 260, super muscular African man, just angry. And he started out of nowhere. He looked left, he looked right, then he just took off down the tunnel. After the Pacers players because he was trying to find. Because he was like, "Hey, I think they stole my ball, my game ball." So he just took off after the Pacers, trying to find the ball. And then it was like a whole fracas, ruckus, whatever you want to call it. Then Giannis came back out. He started yelling at Tyrese Halliburton saying, "Hey, go get my ball." Dame Lillard was standing right next to him looking like, "Nigga, it's just a ball." But it was a lot going on. And it come to find out that the Pacers, they did take the ball and they gave it to their rookie big man, Oscar Tshiebwe, because he scored his first NBA points. Mm-hmm. And they said, we normally do that with all game balls. We give it to the rookie who scored their first points. Mm-hmm. And to this, Giannis was very upset because he wanted his ball. And he ended up with the game ball. But according to him, he doesn't think that's the real game ball because he said he knows what ball he played with, and that wasn't the same ball. Greg, how do you feel about all this? Because this is over a damn ball. Like,
hey man, look. First of all, shout out to the Pacers who just signed James Johnson yesterday or 2 days ago. Shout out to them. They know what time it is. Second of all, this is the NBA I love. This is the NBA I love. For people that wasn't watching the actual game, there was a little scrimmage. There was a little. It was getting a little chippy to begin with. I think Ben Mathurin hard fouled Giannis, and Thanasis decided that he was gonna hold himself back on the bench. Nobody else held him back. He held himself back.
You gotta earn
Very
your check
angrily.
somehow.
I guess. And Bobby Portis, big-eyed ass, you know, he was ready for all the smoke. So, based off of what Rick Carlisle said, there should not have been no escalation. It was just a miscommunication. There's 2 game balls. They played with 2 balls.
Hey, yo.
This game. Oh,
Yo, I'm like, yo, like, how you letting that happen?
hey, yo, I felt like if I just glossed it over, yeah, pause.
I was like, because you paused after you said it. I'm like, what?
Hey, yo, look. Hey, look.
They played the game with 2 basketballs.
There were 2 game basketballs. All right, guys. So there shouldn't have even been a kerfuffle to begin with. Give a game ball to the rookie and give a game ball to Giannis. I think what happened was that with Giannis, like, I guess he wanted maybe he just wanted the most recent one. Yeah. The one that he scored the 64th point. But, I mean, look, Giannis, to what I heard that a Pacer coach pinned another, Milwaukee Bucks player to the wall during the kerfuffle. One of the Pacers coach got elbowed in the ribs by a Bucks player. Like, it didn't have to get to this point, but this is a division rival, and I think division rivalries are coming back. And the Pacers are interesting enough for me to tune in to the next Pacers Bucks game. That's all I have to say about it. I think that this was unnecessary. It could have been easily prevented. I think Giannis overreacted.
No, he's going. Just like, did you see Damian Lillard? Like, Dame was standing next to Giannis, and like when Giannis was yelling at Tyrese Halliburton, Dame was just looking like.
And he lucky Tyrese one of them guys that's just chill.
Yeah,
like that. Anybody else, you can't. I don't care if you the face of the league. Yo, you're not talking to me like that. Especially when I come in there with the good positive energy.
Yeah, because Tyrese Halliburton, he don't never see man. He's just happy. Like, he's trying to dap him up. Give me my ball. Yeah.
You see, I ain't got no ball. You see, I don't got no basketball in my hand.
He told Tyrese. I think like the audio. He told Tyrese, "You need to go get my ball." If I was Tyrese, I'd be like,
I ain't got to give you shit.
I got to do with me.
I ain't got to give you. And I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem with Giannis. Giannis ran in there because I feel like they already gave the basketball to Oscar.
Yeah.
At that time, he ran in there talking about, I need to give me my motherfucking ball. I'm not gonna lie. If I already have a basketball, there's no way niggas is just gonna be like, oh, Giannis is big bro. Like, sorry. Like, you're not gonna just take it out the nigga hand.
He came in with the wrong energy.
He came in with the wrong energy. Had he came in there differently, pause, who knows? Like, who knows? They probably would have given it. But like I said, the whole game has been chippy the whole game. So they were standing on business. Miles Turner was standing on business. Like, bro, like yo, I was putting myself in that position. Like, yo, if I scored my first NBA point and I won a game ball, if I had like my child, hey dad, what? Where's the game ball? Oh, I had to give it to Giannis. Like, Giannis wanted my ball, so I gave it to him. Nigga.
They be like, Dad, you call him big bro?
Yeah, I'm saying. Like, come on, bro. Nah. Wrong energy. I get both sides, though. I get both sides. But it shouldn't have been both sides. There was 2 game balls.
Bro, that's the thing. Because when I was like, first heard, I was like, I know there's like a rack of basketballs they play with. Like, I know there's more than one game ball. Like, and then but I will say, like you said, all this could have been avoided, but I do sort of lean more on the Bucks side of things because I didn't even realize the game was played at Milwaukee. So like those are the Bucks balls. Balls, of course.
Nah, that's the NBA's basketball.
Oh my gosh, bro.
But like hypothetically, if there was only one ball, I really do think that the tiebreaker is whoever won.
I think it was
Yeah, I'm saying because the Bucks won. So like hypothetically, Like if you got a 64-point game and you lost, why the fuck you want the ball? Why would you want the ball for real? If we're being honest, like because Giannis would be in that post game talking about, oh, this doesn't mean much to me. You know, but they was clowning Devin Booker when he had that 70-point whatever, and that nigga he wrote the number 70 on a piece of paper, and they was clowning him for that. Lost that game. So I think the tiebreaker is whoever wins.
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate accident of miscommunication, but ultimately, it's good for the league. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about.
Bring a real basketball back.
But they're gonna slander us because we want Draymond up out of here. But
it's Giannis' first offense for real. Not really, but
no, Giannis, it's not.
Giannis don't be doing all the Draymond stuff. Because if Giannis did the Draymond stuff, he would have killed somebody. Because he's so much bigger than Draymond.
Hey yo,
not even. You know exactly what I meant. So shut up.
Oh, hey, well, look. My fault, Cam. Damn. Chill out, Mace. I'm already down.
But anyway, we have to move on to talking about the in-season tournament. And yes, we know the in-season tournament wrapped up and the Lakers ended up winning. But me and Greg, we were having a sort of a disagreement, if you will, on social media because Greg has a terrible idea, and I just told him it was terrible, and he didn't agree with me. So apparently, he thinks the winner of the in-season tournament should have an automatic playoff spot. And I told him that is stupid because it is. Now, Greg, why do you think the winner of the tournament deserves an automatic spot? Can you elaborate more on your point?
Look, I think when people, because I saw an article that said the NBA exec or people around the NBA were clamoring that they should, allow the winner to get the 7th seed, like an automatic 7th seed in the playoffs. And I think that when people were first saying it, or people like when people were first reacting to it, I think people kind of forget about the new playoff format because I don't believe that they should just get a playoff spot and ain't got to fight or earn nothing. But I do believe that because the 7th seed still is a part of the play-in tournament, and I do believe that say you're a 9th seed or a 10th seed, but you won that NBA Cup, which I think they should just call it the Cup. They shouldn't call it in-season tournament. They should call it the NBA Cup because in-season tournament is just too many words.
They're gonna fix that name. They're gonna fix that name.
Yeah, it's too much. But like 7th seed gives you home court advantage throughout all of the games played in the play-in for you. And I think having a home court advantage does mean something for a few people. And I think that's like a cool thing to do. Like, just throw them at a 7th seed. Now, I do think there need to be parameters. Like, you shouldn't be tanking like you San Antonio or something. Like, you shouldn't be no damn 15th seed. Like, I feel like if you are still qualified for the play-in and you still meet the requirements of making the 10th seed, I think that because you won the NBA Cup, it should put you at the 7th seed so that it doesn't get controversial that you got to take somebody out of the playoffs in general. You got to fit those parameters. So that's where I was coming from that standpoint, mainly because, look, I think it'll be fire. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Now, Greg, what if they outperform the 7th seed?
What do you mean?
Like, what if they end up being the third best team in the conference?
Well,
then what they can do with the 7th seed? What's the incentive for winning the cup if it doesn't do anything like that? Besides the money, of course. What's the incentive for that?
I feel like they can put. They can make some more incentives. Like, look, me personally, I just think that whoever wins the NBA Cup is going to. It's already proven that these teams care enough, so it's going to be a playoff contender that's going to win it. Not a it may not be a championship contender, but it ain't gonna be the Detroit Pistons that win this damn.
But what if it's a team that's in this hypothetical? They don't really have championship potential,
Mhm.
So they win the cup, and they're like, you know what? And then one of their players gets hurt or whatever, and so they're like, you know what? We're just gonna blow it up. We want a high draft pick. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
Why they're still stuck in the 7th seed? What they have to go to the or not have to go to the playoffs, could be playing, but they're still stuck in the 7th seed. Like, what about that? I just don't think it's a good idea. I just think just the money. They should up the money, and I think that's it.
Look, I mean, it's not a foolproof plan. It's not a. I just don't think it's as stupid as people think it is. I just think that people came into it thinking y'all guaranteeing a nigga a playoff spot, and I think a lot of people kind of forgot that the 7th seed is a part of the play-in tournament.
I feel like you're still guaranteeing them niggas a playoff
Not really.
spot.
How?
Because they're gonna be in the 7th seed.
But you gotta perform.
It's still
We literally saw the Miami Heat be a 10th seed and make it all the way to the finals.
I still feel like you're just giving your reward. Like, yes, they should be rewarded for the cup. Like I said, give more money, but it's still, even though the 7th seed, this is still the playoffs. Even if you don't want to play it, it's still the playoffs. It's just a winner go home. It's still winner go home. It's the same thing. You're guaranteeing them as playoff spot, in my opinion. I don't think it's a good idea.
I don't know what makes it a bad idea. I guess that's my thing. Like,
all the stuff I just said. What if they want the draft picks? What if they outperform the 7th seed? What if they just end up? What if they be like, you know what? We already got the 7th seed locked up. We're just gonna rest everybody.
First of all, there's no reason. Well, like if they decide to rest people, that's cool. But Adam Silver done already put in place that you just can't be resting motherfuckers anyway.
He didn't say that.
Put two. Yeah, didn't they just put out you can't rest, you can't intentionally rest two superstars at the same time unless they meet certain criteria?
They said you just unless you love that, right? Like, is that not just the incentive for the awards?
Nah, well, with the awards thing is you got to play 65 games to be eligible for, awards and stuff. But I thought it was one of those things where they just couldn't do that. I thought it was gonna get fined or something. Maybe I just need to look back up like what that was. But I mean, look, we haven't heard much about load managing this year like we have in the past. I will say,
it's because that 65.
Whatever Adam Silver has done, I ain't gonna lie, you're not David Stern, but you're doing some shit that's kind of improving the league. I'm not gonna lie to you. You ain't been missing.
All right.
You be missing on the transparency. Like I be telling you about the transparency all the time. But other than that, outside of reprimanding and discipline, when it comes to the actual game of basketball,
he's terrible at that discipline stuff.
That discipline that is not his forte. I feel like he's a non-confrontational person. I think that's an issue. So when it comes to the game of basketball and the development of basketball, I have no complaints. He's been improving these past 2 years. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't know, but we'll see what comes with the in-season tournament. It's only been 1 year. It was good. It was good as hell though, but still, we'll see what comes with it.
It could be just another 2020 All-Star, and maybe he has next year. Who knows?
I hope not.
I hope not.
Well, I don't think it will because the money. But they, like I said, they need to up the money and put it in a duffel bag, just in the center of the floor. Just before the game, so just put the money. Everybody look at it, be like, okay, this is what we're playing for. It'll turn the game up. You'll see a lot more Draymond Green activity.
I mean, look, that's cool and all, but then you saw how Zion looked on that last game, so I guess money ain't everything.
Zion's a different Zion. We learned this offseason. We learned in the offseason that Zion has different values than most of us.
Maybe he needs some crab legs on the table. Who knows? Maybe we need some beignets. Who knows, nigga? I don't know. Not too much on Zion. I'll chill out on Zion.
I'm saying, because a beignet would be incentive. I'm not gonna lie to you.
For me, yeah, absolutely.
But I digress.
Oh God.
But now, Greg, it's time for picks of the week.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
As you guys probably already figured out, we're recording this on Friday, even though we normally do it on Thursday. So we can't talk about the Thursday night game or we can't predict a Thursday night game because it already happened. And to be honest, we would have predicted the wrong fucking thing because we didn't expect this to happen to the Chargers.
Yeah. Sorry to that man's.
So, since we don't have a Thursday night game, we'll just go ahead and hop over to the
But we do have a Saturday night game.
what?
We have 3 games on Saturday. We have 3 games tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
We don't have a Thursday night game, but we do have 3 Saturday night games, or Saturday games because they're not on at night. Anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, the first game we have the Vikings at the Bengals. Who are you going with, Greg?
Is Justin Jefferson coming back?
I don't know. I really don't know. I know he got sent to the hospital, so I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna go to Bengals, and I'm not even confident because none of them have their quarterbacks.
It's battle of the backups. It's the year of the backups this season, honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bengals.
I'll go Bengals as well because I'm looking at it says Justin Jefferson's questionable. But I'll go with the Bengals because their quarterback has been playing very good for a backup. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he's been decent.
Now for our next game, we have the Steelers at the Colts. What are you picking?
Not gonna lie. Give me the Colts.
Well, I'm going with Steelers because it's the agenda. You got to go with it. I need Mike Tomlin to get these 8 wins, and they're 7-6 right now. So I need him. Well, I really need him to get 9 wins.
He need 9 because
I need that winning record. I need that winning record. I don't know what the rest of their schedule looks like, but this is a good opportunity to beat up on a team that's not super good. So
the Steelers' remaining schedule is they have the Colts, they have the Bengals, they have the Seahawks, and they end with the Ravens.
All right, I think this is the win he needs because he might not get like
he fucked up when he lost to the fucking Patriots.
Yeah. Shoot, this is gonna be a tough year for Mike Tomlin in that record, bro.
Hey, if he overcome that record, if he get that record, bad ass nigga, man,
bro. And then our next Saturday game will be the Broncos at the Lions. Who are you taking?
Now listen, man. I don't know. I just got a weird feeling about them Broncos today or tomorrow. Think Broncos get it. I think Broncos win. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay. I think they sniffed that they're literally 1 game away
from playoffs.
From tying the what you call it?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
They're like
a game. They're like a game back. They're like a game back from the Chiefs or some shit like that. So, and the Broncos have beaten the Chiefs this year. So,
just imagine if the Broncos make the playoffs, but not the Chiefs. Just imagine.
That would be something crazy. Not gonna lie to you. So I'm picking the Broncos because I want controversy.
I'm going with the Lions because even though the Broncos are outperforming what pretty much we all expected at this point, so are the Lions. They're outperforming people, and they just lost to the Bears. So I know they're gonna want a big bounce back win because Dan Campbell is a crazy human being, and they have him as a head coach. So he's gonna want them to go crazy. And now for our Sunday night game, it will be the Ravens at the Jaguars. Who are you picking?
Give me the Ravens.
You said that too fast. You said that too fast. You got to preface it with respectfully.
Respectfully wasn't going to work. Yeah, I ain't going to lie to you. It wasn't going to work. I think it's because if we both say it too fast, then that's what happened. But if one of us becomes humble with it, like if you pick the Jags, it'll bounce itself out.
Okay. It's not happening because I'm picking the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to win this game. But I do think it'll be close because I think Jags are good, honestly. So I think it'll be a close game. But I think the Ravens got it.
Oh, for sure. It's going to be a close game.
And then our Monday night game, the Eagles at the Seahawks. Who are you taking?
I got agendas to push. Give me the Seahawks.
Oh my gosh.
I got narratives to push, man. I need them to lose. God damn it.
I too am going with the Seahawks because I just feel like the Eagles feel like they're reeling right now. Like Jalen Hurts, he's been hurt pretty much the entire season, but he's still been playing. And he looked like last game he looked way more hurt than he has been in a while. Like
That last name. It's in that last name.
Foreshadowing. But yeah, but wait, is Geno starting this game? Hold on.
It don't even matter to me, honestly.
Fair enough.
I got agendas to push, yo.
Okay, I think Geno's starting. So yeah, I'll go with the Seahawks. Now if Drew Lock plays, then they finna lose, but
One of the
whatever.
best mid-white quarterbacks out there, man. Man, shout out to him, man. Shout out to Drew Lock, man.
Now we got to get into our locks of the week. Who do you have as a lock to win?
Let me be safe and be 49ers Cardinals.
I was gonna say, I was like, you don't see no locks at all. I was like, that's one right
Nah, but it's just like I would do this locking, and Kyler Murray would do something crazy, and I would be happy because it pushes my narrative and the agendas right now in the NFC. But I would do 49ers Cardinals.
For my lock, I'm going with the Chiefs over the Patriots.
That's the one I was gonna go for, but I was just like, you know what? The way they had Zeke, that last game, and they can't stop the run. I don't know, man.
All right, now who do you have for upset this week?
Jackson, do you understand? And this might give you a heart attack. Do you know if the Giants win another game, they're in playoff contention?
Get the fuck out of here.
I just want you to understand that. I just want you to understand if they win another game, they will officially be, a part of that wild card conversation.
If the Giants sneak into the playoffs, one, they got to get that coach of the year. And two, they also
he won it last year.
I know they got to do it again because this team is worse. Oh my gosh! I can't.
Shout out to that boy Danny DeVito. You know Danny DeVito has not lost a game that he started.
That's because Danny DeVito is a short actor. Tommy DeVito is a quarterback.
Tommy DeVito. You right.
Yeah,
Tommy DeVito has not lost a game. You right. They got to get rid of Danny if this happens, yo. I ain't gonna lie to you. If Tommy DeVito sneaks into the playoffs, you got to get rid of Daniel Jones. You got to get rid of him.
They should have never I can't believe they re-signed him to that big ass.
Oh
deal.
yeah,
they are so stupid.
They were super dumb. They were super dumb, and didn't want to give Saquon that money for real. But ain't none of my business. But all that to say, I got the Giants over the Saints because I like controversy.
All right,
I like seeing you up, and I like seeing you upset too about these goddamn Giants too.
Well, it doesn't make sense why they keep winning. If the Giants win, they have to fire Derek.
They got to beat the Eagles, and if they beat the Eagles, if they beat the Eagles, money,
I'll allow it if they beat the Eagles.
They play
I won't. Never mind. I'm lying. I won't allow it. Never mind.
What you mean you won't allow it? We need them. We need the Eagles to lose.
You don't understand. I don't like the Giants, bro. I just don't,
bro. But I don't like the Eagles. I hate the Eagles. Actually, I despise them motherfuckers.
They always had cool players, though.
Man, fuck them.
Michael
cool
Vick, Deshaun,
LaShawn
McCoy LaShawn McCoy when he played football instead of talked.
Yeah.
Before I knew his voice sounded like he was cool.
Yeah.
But my upset for the week, and this is a big one.
It's not, bro. You ain't gonna say crazy.
I'm taking the Panthers over the Falcons.
That shit not even crazy for real.
I think it could. I think the Panthers are gonna get one more win. And the Falcons suck. It has to be this team.
The Falcons going to the playoffs. They lead their division. They've won every division game.
I don't care.
They have not lost a division game. They're going to the playoffs. Even if they lose today. Even if they lose, they're still going to the playoffs.
The Bucks can't beat them in the what you call it?
Yeah, the Bucks lost to
Like they got the Falcons and the Bucks got the
They
same
got a
record.
chance. They got a chance. They got a chance. It's just the fact that if they all end up with the same record,
Oh,
the Falcons win all tiebreakers because they've won within the division. But it's a chance.
But yeah, I need that one. I be feeling bad for Bryce Young, bro. He be getting his ass whooped. I want him
I
to
be
be
feeling
happy,
bad
bro.
for Kyle. I be feeling bad for Kyle Pitts. He got his first season, first touchdown of the season last week. His first touchdown of the season came in week, what is this, 13, 14?
Yeah. 15. Or wait, no, last week was 14. Last week
This
was
is
14.
14. Yeah, it took him 14 weeks to get a touchdown. He's supposed to be the tight end of the future, and it's not even your fault for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I just know, like, I bet Kyler, he's like, man, what if I played for the Falcons? Like,
Okay.
they'd be so much better because he's an actual competent quarterback in weapons.
And I wanted the Cowboys to go trade for him before I found out about Ferguson. Now we got Ferguson. I don't want nobody else. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna
no,
lie to you.
Ferguson. I didn't think Ferguson was gonna be
Ferguson's
that
solid,
good.
yo. No,
I'm still sick. Like Ferguson, he turned out being cold, and they still wasted the draft pick on a tight end last year in the second round. But it's whatever.
It is what it is.
But we did our picks.
Got our
Let's get into some hot takes, Greg.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this short, sweet, and simple for y'all. My hot take of the week: you niggas need to get off Keith Lee dick. All right. First of all, shout out to Keith Lee. Nothing wrong with Keith Lee. I'm a fan of Keith Lee. I think he does great work, great content creating. But I do have a problem, an issue, specifically with the black community, that always got something to say about Keith Lee. There's nothing. I've never seen somebody that's been asked to do less and more at the same time. At the same damn time. Y'all are legit. Y'all are the legit niggas that will intentionally pray and gatekeep certain restaurants because you don't want the Keith Lee long line tax to happen to your favorite establishment. But then when he gets to your city, you out here bitching, moaning, and complaining on why he's trying certain foods in certain restaurants that are just not to the expectation of yours. And I'm here to say, bitch, because you gatekeeping. Maybe if you want to, like, you can't have it both ways. Like, what do you want the nigga to do? I say all this to say, Atlanta, I don't want to count Atlanta because Atlanta had horrible customer service. But there's a lot of people in New York that's just not happy with him. Not with him, but just where the audience decided to take him. All because somebody recommended that nigga a salmon chopped cheese. Now look, not gonna lie, never heard of a salmon chopped cheese a day in my life.
I don't think that's a real thing. I think they just made it up for Keith Lee.
Nah, but what I heard happen was whatever the establishment was, they recommended the salmon chopped cheese. It wasn't even an audience. The restaurant that he decided to go to, or the restaurant, it wasn't even the deli. It was, he tried to do the authentic thing. And a guy from New York said it best. Getting fish from a deli is crazy. Getting fish the Aki way, crazy. It's crazy. I get it. I understand it. But you cannot straddle the fence. You cannot get upset when you was the main motherfucker complaining about your favorite establishment having long lines in New York. Make up your mind and get Keith Lee dick out your mouth, yo. It's getting crazy. You know who he didn't have no complaints for? Houston motherfucking Texas ho. That's all I got. Hey. You know where he rated all the 9s and 10s at?
Oh my gosh.
Houston motherfucking Texas. So I don't know what you want me to say. Real eats. I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe if I go 3 or 4 different places and you just keep telling me, oh, I need to try this, I need to try that, this one's better. Maybe your city just not as good as you think it is. I don't know. I don't know. I can't. It's something I can't relate to, Jack. So I don't know. Maybe I could feel their pain if I lived somewhere else or I was from another city or state. I don't know. But that's all I gotta say. Keith Lee did. Hey, Keith Lee already know what good East is. So look, I don't know. That's all. Y'all gotta grow up. Y'all gotta grow up. Get off the internet. Get off TikTok, y'all. Go touch some grass. Fuck ass niggas. Anyway, that's my hot take.
I'll be honest. I do hate, like, when Keith Lee came, I was like, man, these lines going to be so long. But I'm happy for the businesses, though. But damn.
But he went to places that already had long lines. Like Breakfast Club, they already had long lines.
Yeah, Breakfast Club, like, I was never going to go there anyway. It's way too long, bro. Like, I'm not doing all that.
Yeah, so.
I'm surprised he got food from there. I'm not going to lie.
That nigga name is Keith Lee. That nigga definitely was finna get. He was finna beeline that nigga.
He don't be saying his name. He has people get it for him.
Exactly, I understand. And plus, to go orders, you gonna get them faster. He not waiting in line. You don't have to wait in line to get in the to go order.
Yeah, he just be in the line to sit down. Truck.
Hell yeah.
I'm surprised he ain't go to Turkey Leg Hut.
Nah, all that shit that be happening in Turkey Leg Hut.
Nah, I needed him to go to get this shut down.
He gonna do a divorce settlement or some shit? Yeah, here. I don't know. It's a lot of shit.
Oh, there's some, man. We can talk about this. I know some stuff about Turkey Leg Hut because anyway. But my hot take for the week, and I've been thinking about this for a minute, and by a minute I mean a literal minute. But I think I 100% believe that GMs deserve way more of the smoke, way more of the blame, way more of the whatever, way more of the insults as well when it comes to building teams and why teams are failing. Like,
speak on it.
Is Brandon Staley a horrible head coach? Yes. But is Tom Telesco the GM who left them with a whole bunch of old wide receivers who drafted Quentin Johnston who can't catch, who continually gets a whole bunch of hurt players, and who left them $40 million over the cap, a bad GM? Yes. But nobody knows who he is because he's the GM. He's not the coach. He's not out in front. And, like, it's just always, like, I would have more smoke for the coaches. I mean, I do have a lot of smoke for coaches who suck, but I have more smoke for the coaches if they're the ones who actually get the ingredients for the food they're making. But the GMs, they made the sandwich. The GMs, it's their fault. It's the GM's fault the team sucks most of the time because they're not getting good players. They're not making good financial decisions. Like, they're getting teams in cap hell. Like, I think GMs is probably slightly more important than coaches. I could be. It
is more important.
Yeah, I think the GMs are more important than coaches, and I'm glad you agree with me. So I can fully 100% say that. Yeah, I think GMs are more important than coaches. And, like, if you have a bad GM, there's no way. I don't think there's any way you're going to be successful if it's the GM who's making
Detroit Pistons. It's a lot of good ingredients there,
and they just suck. Come on now. Yeah, that's my hot take.
When you think of a bad GM, what's the first thing that comes to mind to you?
I think Jerry Jones, because although now he's more hands off and he's given a lot more responsibility to Stephen Jones, his son, and I think the dude's name is Will McKay or Will McClay, who's like controls most of like the draft decisions. So he's not like a super GM no more. Then I think of Bill Belichick, who's a coaching GM, who's a good coach, terrible GM. So those are the two main ones I think of. And then I think of the Saints and how I don't know who their GM is, but they're always like $90 million over the cap. And every single year, they always find a way to have a roster with players on that team, even though there should be no way. But when you think of bad GM, who do you think of?
Bill O'Brien. That brother was.
I think of Bill O'Brien when I think of like war criminals. I think of Bill O'Brien.
Yeah. That boy. Yeah, he was bigger. He was bigger than being a GM. that man there. I'm not gonna lie. And whoever the GM is for the Detroit Pistons, they have not reached the playoff since Blake Griffin, and they got swept. So those are the two I think of. And then sometimes Low key, Daryl Morey would have been tragically bad if the results didn't show up.
He's not a good GM.
Because
He's just getting good players. He's not a good GM.
He was one of the few GMs that just did not care about draft picks at all. He would just give away our future just relentlessly, just for a win now player. Like 4 first round draft picks, and we don't get a draft pick till 2022 or 2023 or. And this is back in 2014. I'm like, yo, like, I don't even know if you're gonna be here this long.
And that's why the Rockets are in the situation. I mean, they're rebuilding now. They're finally
finally rebuilding.
Yeah, they finally got all like the Daryl Morey stink off of them, but like that was the reason the Rockets needed to rebuild in the first place. They couldn't get nobody because they was trading all their draft picks and then like the players they would get, like
Robert Covington. Like, stop.
Yeah,
it's not moving the needle. So
James Harden made that man's career, and now they hate each other.
Literally from the ground up. Literally from the ground up, bro. And shout out to Raphael Stone, the new GM
of
the Rockets. Like, you've been, I don't know how he is with draft, like with trading and all that stuff and all that stuff, but
they've been hitting on the draft though.
Cam Whitmore in the draft, hey, especially a late first rounder, Alperen Şengün, Tari Eason, and Cam Whitmore, have zero complaints.
Yeah,
we're good over here.
Y'all 3 best young players.
And Jabari. Shout out to Jabari. Gave me 20 and 10 yesterday. Not too bad. But that's it for the hot takes. We'll have a special Christmas episode coming to you next week when I fly down there to the city I love, but we'll never live there. But I do love it. No, Jackson, any last words?
I forgot what I'd be saying. So no.
You're a life changer.
Oh yeah. If you want to change your life, go do some life changing shit. That's all I got to say.
And for me, I will say, don't allow other people to write your story when God gave you the pen.
This. Cooking.
Get this nigga.
Cooking.
Get his ass. When I tell you I was on some self-reflecting yesterday, nah, like, I was really thinking about some shit. I was like, nah, brother. Nah, some things finna change in 2024. And I hope things change for the audience in 2024 as well. Shout out to all y'all consistent listeners, yo. We do appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
And with that being said, we will catch y'all next week. Per usual. With the Christmas spirit. Christmas spirit episode. So bye, niggas, go get some bitches.